Hey y'all, before we get started, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment, all right? Because what I'm about to tell you, it's not just some story you watch and scroll past. It's my life, flipped upside down in ways I never imagined. It's messy, raw, and honestly, I'm still trying to process it myself. You're about to hear the kind of betrayal that makes you question everything you thought you knew about someone you loved. It all started a few months ago. Little things that didn't make sense at the time. The way she'd laugh a little too softly when I walked into the room, her phone buzzing and then disappearing too fast, random excuses that felt rehearsed. I told myself I was overthinking, that I was being paranoid, but there was this nagging feeling in my gut, something that kept whispering, "Check it, look closer." And I wish to God I hadn't, but that whisper saved me from living in a lie for longer than I could have imagined. That night, she was in the kitchen, humming, making tea, completely oblivious. I walked into the bedroom, saw her phone sitting on the nightstand, innocently glowing. My hands were shaking, my chest felt tight. I told myself, Elman, just look, just see what's really going on. And the moment I opened it, my world stopped. There it was, her secret chat folder, hidden behind layers I never would have guessed. Thousands of messages, pictures, conversations with someone I didn't even know existed. And as I scrolled, my stomach dropped, my hands went cold, and my heart felt like it was being ripped out. This wasn't casual flirting. This was full-blown planning, a secret life she'd been living right under my nose. Dates, meetups, little lies carefully orchestrated to cover every trace. And she had the audacity to act normal around me, laughing in the kitchen, humming, pretending like nothing was happening. The first message I read hit me like a ton of bricks. He called her babe. She responded with emojis, flirty, loving. And there I was, sitting on the bed, feeling like the biggest fool alive for trusting her, for loving her, for believing in what I thought was real. My stomach churned, my chest tightened, and I couldn't breathe. I felt frozen, yet part of me couldn't look away. I needed to see the full truth. I needed to know every detail, every secret, every lie. Hours passed. I scrolled, read, reread. Every message made it worse. Every conversation showed a life she was living without me, and every plan she made without my knowledge felt like a dagger in my heart. Months of deception, carefully hidden in a single folder, and I had found it all. My hands went numb from holding the phone, my eyes burned from staring at the screen. And still, I couldn't stop, because once you know the truth, you can't unsee it. One message detailed a weekend trip they were planning. She wrote about how excited she was, about all the little things they would do together. I could feel my blood boiling, but I stayed quiet. I took screenshots, saved every conversation. I knew I had to be smart. Confrontation wasn't just about exposing her. It was about facing the full truth without losing myself in rage. But damn, every word I read tore me apart in ways I didn't know were possible. I remember looking at the photos, simple, casual things, coffee dates, little selfies, random moments, yet each one screamed betrayal. And the way she responded to every message, with affection, with planning, with secrecy. I sat there, stunned, my mind raced. How could someone you love so deeply hide so much? How could someone act like your partner, your spouse, while living a completely different life behind your back? I thought about the little signs I missed, the tiny inconsistencies, the fleeting glances, the nights she stayed out late without explanation. Everything made sense now. Every laugh, every excuse, every little secret she kept, it all fit together in this horrific puzzle that I had never wanted to complete. By the time dawn broke, I was exhausted, drained, but also strangely alert. The evidence was all there. I knew what I had to do next. I had to plan. I had to confront her, but I couldn't just explode, not yet. I needed every detail, every screenshot, every message saved, because when I finally confronted her, there would be no lies left to hide behind. And as I sat there, staring at that phone, reality hit me harder than ever had before. My life, the life I thought I knew, was a lie. Every smile, every promise, every I love you, all of it carefully curated to keep me blind. And that's when I knew this story wasn't just about betrayal. It was about survival, about standing up, facing the truth, and deciding who I would become after all of this. Y'all, what I'm about to share is the story of that confrontation, of the fallout, of the chaos that followed, and of the lessons I had to learn the hard way. It's raw, it's emotional, and it's real. And it all started with that secret chat folder sitting right in front of me, waiting for me to finally see it for what it was.
Everything comes crashing down, where the truth finally hits with full force, and where I had to decide who I was going to be after all of this. After seeing her secret chat folder, after confronting her, after hours of yelling, crying, and broken promises, I realized there was no going back. Not for her, not for us, and definitely not for me. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every word, every image, every hidden message kept replaying in my mind. The betrayal was fresh, cutting deeper than anything I had ever felt. But then I started thinking, what am I going to do with this pain? Am I going to let it define me, crush me, or am I going to use it to stand taller, stronger, and smarter than ever before? The next morning, I woke up with a plan. I needed closure, not just for me, but for the life I still wanted to build. I called her into the living room, where the air felt thick with tension. She walked in, still trembling, guilt painted on her face like a mask she couldn't remove. I could see her trying to figure out what I was thinking, what my next move would be. "I can't do this anymore," I started, my voice steady but firm. "I can't live in a life where I'm only half seen, where every word you said to me was possibly a lie. I trusted you, I loved you, and you used that to hide another life. And you know what? That's not love, that's manipulation." Her lips quivered, and I could see tears forming again, but I had to stay strong. This wasn't about revenge, it was about truth, clarity, and finally reclaiming myself. She tried to speak, "Elman, please, I can explain." But I shook my head. "No, I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear reasons why you did it. I want to know, can you even look me in the eye and tell me the truth now?" She couldn't. The shame and guilt were written all over her face, and in that moment, I knew I had my answer. We spent the entire day talking, mostly me speaking, trying to put words to the chaos I felt inside. And as I did, something unexpected happened. I started to feel lighter. Each word, each truth, each confrontation peeled away layers of fear, confusion, and self-doubt. And I realized something crucial. This betrayal wasn't the end of me. It was the start of a new chapter. By evening, we were exhausted. The air was heavy, the room silent except for our breathing. I made a decision. I couldn't stay in this marriage, not after everything. But I also couldn't let anger or bitterness define me. I wanted to move forward with dignity and strength. I told her, I need space, I need time, and I need to rebuild my life without lies and secrets. She nodded silently, tears falling freely now, and I could see the regret, the realization of what she had lost. And though part of me still loved her, because love doesn't just disappear, it was no longer enough, not when the foundation had been shattered so completely. That night, as I sat alone in the living room, I thought about everything I had been through. The betrayal, the lies, the confrontation, the heartbreak, it all felt like a storm. But I also saw the calm after it. I realized that the power I had been missing wasn't about controlling her or the situation. It was about controlling myself, my reactions, my choices. I decided then and there that I would not let this define me. I would take the pain, the lessons, and use them to build a stronger, wiser, more resilient me. And that's exactly what I started doing. I focused on myself, my goals, my dreams. I rebuilt my confidence, surrounded myself with people who truly cared, and learned that sometimes the most important person to be loyal to is yourself. And y'all, if there's one thing I want you to take from this story, it's this. Betrayal hurts, but it also teaches. It forces you to see who you are, what you deserve, and what you will no longer accept. Life will throw people at you who betray, who lie, who deceive, but the measure of you is not how you react to them. It's how you rise after the fall, how you reclaim your life, and how you refuse to let anyone else's choices dictate your happiness. So yes, I lost a marriage. Yes, I lost someone I loved deeply, but I didn't lose myself. And that's something no secret chat folder, no lie, no betrayal can ever take away from me. And that's my story. The story of a secret chat folder, a marriage built on lies, and the hardest lessons I ever had to learn. But also the story of strength, resilience, and the kind of clarity that only comes after facing the harshest truths. And y'all, if you ever feel betrayed, hurt, or broken, remember this: you are stronger than you think, and your life is yours to reclaim. Always.
All right, y'all, this is it. The part where... All right, y'all, so here's where it all gets messy. I spent that whole night staring at her secret chat folder, trying to process everything. And by the time morning came, I knew I couldn't act normal anymore. But how do you confront someone you thought you knew, someone you loved, when they've built an entire other life behind your back? I didn't want to explode. I wanted answers, and I wanted them on my terms. She walked into the bedroom that morning, stretching, humming, coffee in hand, just like any other morning. I looked at her, my heart pounding, and tried to keep my face calm. I said nothing at first. She sat down on the edge of the bed, sipping her coffee, smiling, completely unaware of the storm brewing right next to her. And I could feel the tension building inside me, tight and heavy. I finally spoke. "We need to talk." My voice was steady, calm, but there was this edge to it, a tone she hadn't heard from me in years. She looked at me, confused, raising an eyebrow. "About what?" she asked, like she genuinely didn't know. My stomach twisted, and I could feel all the anger, betrayal, and hurt ready to spill out. I pulled out my phone and set it on the nightstand between us, screen facing up. Every message, every screenshot, every single thing she had hidden in that folder, all visible. Her eyes widened immediately. I could see her trying to play it cool, to figure out what I had found. But honey, the look on her face was priceless. Panic, guilt, and fear all wrapped into one. "Elman, she started, but I cut her off. "Don't. Just don't." I needed to hear nothing from her yet. I needed to see if she could even look me in the eye while all this was laid bare. And she couldn't. Her eyes darted around the room, anywhere but me. I could feel the weight of years of lies pressing down in that moment. We sat there in silence for what felt like forever. And then I asked the one question that burned the entire night through my chest. Why? Why did you do this? Was I not enough? Was I not enough for you? Her hands shook slightly, gripping her coffee cup as if it could save her from what was coming next. I don't know. It just happened," she stammered. And right there, I felt something break inside me. The casual, dismissive excuse of "it just happened," after months, maybe years of planning, it was like a punch straight to the heart. I couldn't contain the mix of emotions anymore. Anger, sadness, disbelief, all crashing into one. Happened? Happened? You built a life behind my back. Dates, secret meetings, messages calling him babe while I was sitting next to you thinking we were happy? That's not happened. That's a choice. That's a betrayal. I could see tears welling up in her eyes, but I wasn't done. "You think I'm going to just sit here and pretend like this didn't happen? Like I won't see the truth with my own eyes? I trusted you. I gave you everything. And you took it and shattered it piece by piece." The room felt smaller with every word I spoke, tighter, heavier. Every word echoed like a hammer against years of illusions I had lived under. She finally looked at me, tear streaks on her cheeks. "Elman, I love you," she said, and I froze. The words, empty and hollow, bounced off the walls. Love? After everything I just saw, I wanted to scream. I wanted to collapse. But most of all, I wanted to understand how someone could say, "I love you," while hiding this kind of life. I took a deep breath, trying to steady myself. You can't just say you love me and think that fixes it. You can't undo months of lies with 3 little words. Every laugh, every touch, every moment we shared. How do I know which ones were real? And the truth hit harder than any blow. Nothing felt real anymore. She stayed silent after that, just sobbing quietly. And in that moment, I realized something important. This wasn't just about betrayal anymore. It was about me, about what I would accept, what I would not, and how I would move forward from this wreckage. And honey, I knew the road ahead wasn't going to be easy. But I also knew something else. I was no longer blind. I had seen the truth, raw and ugly. And seeing it, painful as it was, gave me a kind of power. The power to decide, to take control of my life, to demand respect, to no longer be the fool in someone else's secret story. That confrontation, that morning, was just the start. There were arguments, tears, more lies revealed, and truths I wasn't ready to hear. But the important thing was this. I faced it, I saw it, and I refused to let it define me completely. And as I sat there, watching her crumble under the weight of her own choices, I knew one thing for certain. My life would never be the same. And y'all, if you think this is the worst part, trust me, it only gets more intense. The fallout, the chaos, the decisions you have to make when the person you love betrays you, it's something you can't prepare for. And what I had to do next, it changed everything.